Welcome to RAC Rally Report from day 3 of the Roger Albert Clark Rally. I'm Paul Woodford and I want to start tonight by paying tribute to our hard-working broadcast team who are out there on the stages all day, every day, pretty much bringing you those gorgeous images that you're seeing from the drone and from the stage side. And you just saw a fantastic edit there from Chris, one of our editors, and it is just such a privilege to be a part of this team. And also I want to pay tribute to Phil Bramwell and Matt Cotton joining me in presenting the stage action and the stage end reaction every day on this exciting rally. We know from your feedback that you're enjoying this broadcast package, and I just wanted you to know that we are as well. So here we are on day 3. We had an almighty journey up from mid Wales yesterday all the way up the M6, and we were in Carlisle, based there, and we're out to the Scottish stages today. 6 stages, a cut down schedule today with 2 cancelled stages unfortunately, but that led to 56 more stage miles to add to the tally. At the end of today we're almost halfway through the overall mileage of this rally, which the good news means we've still got half of it to go. Good news depending on how much sleep you've had, I suppose. Coming up in tonight's programme, we've got highlights from day 2, and wow, a lot has happened since we were last here in the International Media Centre Rally Report studio, hasn't it? We've also got an update from today's action for you as well, but we'll have more in-depth highlights in tomorrow's show. We've got some behind-the-scenes features and we'll introduce you to some of our crews tonight. Asen's review, his video blog from the stages, of course, which I know you've been loving and we have as well. That's been so heartwarming, hasn't it, to have Asen on the show with us this week. We'll see if he brought big Asen any luck as well. If you know, you know. And we'll have some rally car nerdery, which of course I'm very excited about. I'm all about that. As well as a very special mission we need you to get involved with here at RAC Rally Report. But first, such a lot has happened. Let's have a look at those highlights and some of the action from day 2 of the Roger Albert Clark Rally yesterday in mid Wales. After the first day of the RAC Rally, we knew day 2 would bring drama, and it brought it early on. The event lead changing hands with Oliver Solberg and Elliot Edmondson coming out of the first stage of the day on an equal time overall to Asen Price and Rodri Evans. Solberg eventually taking the lead and finishing the day with a 44-second advantage. Price had an air of quiet confidence about him though, and he wasn't going to let that lead slipping away bother him just yet. The times were good and the rally was far from over. Over 3/4 of the rally still to go. 44 seconds was nothing on an event like the Roger Albert Clark. Martin McCormack and Barney Mitchell were still sitting tight, happy enough with their run to 3rd place at this point. They knew what they needed to do and were sticking to their game plan. The pair would have a small moment, but nothing that they couldn't get away with, and probably nothing that even featured in Martin McCormack's story of the day. Jason Pritchard and Phil Clark were desperate for a result on this year's RAC. They gained a position as well to move the right way on the leaderboard into 4th overall. 28 seconds behind McCormack. A much cleaner day, not perfect, but the confidence was growing inside the car. Seb Perez, Gary McElhaney and that Lancia Stratos would be in fine voice and still be going strong. They moved up a position as well through these stages, ending the day in 5th. Some of this shuffling on the leaderboard was down to Paul Barrett and Gordon Noble, the pair dropping back down the order to 14th place, losing around 4 minutes in the final stage of the day, a big blow on day 2. Catherine McCourt and Liam Moynihan were now putting in some great times, gaining on the leaderboard as well, up to 6th overall. Taking a look at the categories, there'd only be 2 crews running in Category 1 without Super Rally times, and leading the way of those will be the Volvo of Martin Linden and Ricard Forcell. A 4-minute advantage now over the Ford Anglia of Pete Stimson and Mark Butler that they were swapping times and places with yesterday. In Category 2, it will be Mike Stewart and Sinclair Young leading the way. The Escort Mark 1 pair now with a minute's advantage in the category over Day 1 category leaders Robert Woodside and Dean Beckett, who were now in 2nd place and showing just how close the leaderboards right through the field were. Federico Polisi and Nicola Arena would continue to lead the Safari class through the second day of the RAC rally. The Porsche with a strong lead as well in the class after day 2 and problems for their fellow competitors. No change in the 1990s either. Kev Proctor, Jamie Edwards still with that anti-lag turned right up on that almost auto glass Ford Sierra 4-wheel drive Cosworth out in the front with a 12-minute lead, enjoying themselves on these stages. Big smiles, and you can see why. And with no drama or issues to report at all, it would still be the lead in the Open Rally for Neil Weaver and Jack Morton. Out ahead with a very good advantage over even the closest of crews, Brian Jardine and Declan Campbell. But I tell you what, that wasn't stopping the Corsa Super 1600 pair from pushing that kit car right to the limit on the stages, as entertaining as ever. Noel Lappin from Cavan in Ireland was currently going well in the open category. Noel and co-driver Charlie Mason are doing the RAC rally in memory of Dare Maguire, who we lost in a crash in an Irish rally not so long ago. Dare's family giving their blessing and following their progress on this epic rally adventure, a fitting tribute. East Yorkshire's Ken Sturdy is making steady progress through the event. In this case, it's the driver, not the car, that needs to get bedded in. An accident on the Moulton Rally recently saw Ken breaking 3 ribs, so competing on this grueling event was not exactly what the doctor had in mind when they said, put your feet up and take things easy. Coming into this rally, we promised you plenty of drama and a story that nobody could predict, but you couldn't have imagined any of what has happened so far. And with 2 days to go in the Roger Albert Clark Rally, no one can predict what will happen next. All I can tell you is we will be here to bring you all of the action as it unfolds. So stay tuned to the Roger Albert Clark Facebook page and the Special Stage YouTube channel for the live coverage and for updates throughout the rest of this exciting rally. We'll bring you a short update from the stages today later in the show before a more detailed package including some of our class competitors in tomorrow night's RAC Rally Report. Now, one of the things we also promised you in the build-up to this rally was great variety of rally cars. And I know, like me, one of the cars in particular that you've all been very excited to see and hear in the stages is that David Appleby Engineering Works Spec Triumph TR7 V8, driven by European rally champion Chris Ingram, with Hannah McKillop drafted in at last minute and doing a stellar job in the co-driver's seat. Fantastic spectacle. The last time anybody saw a car of that spec competing at the level we've seen it compete this week was what, 1980 at the end of the Triumph Works programme, perhaps? It just rekindles the stories that Mike Broad told me about 1978, the heyday of the Triumph TR7 V8 rally programme, and it has been epic to watch on the stages. Unfortunately, that chapter was cut short somewhat prematurely, but Chris Ingram has taken to social media to tell us that they will be back, and we've got our fingers crossed that we'll see that David Appleby Engineering TR7 V8 or one like it, because they've got 6 in build on the stages right here in the UK very soon, hopefully with Chris Ingram behind the wheel once again. For now, we'll leave you with a montage of clips of a car that really has captured a lot of people's imagination this week so far on the Roger Albert Clark Rally. Turn this up and enjoy. When you go into commercial radio and you first walk into a studio, the first thing you get told is the golden rule. Don't talk over the end of Hotel California. And this is rallying's equivalent. Don't talk over a Triumph TR7 V8 or indeed a Lancia Stratos. Unfortunately, we sometimes have to do that. Comes with the territory, but I hope you enjoyed that unbridled, raucous V8 noise. Now, we also promised you, going through this rally, we'd bring out some of the stories of the cars, the competitors, some of the human stories behind the scenes. And we've been shining a light on young talent on the Roger Albert Clark Rally. Now, our two youngest competitors are James Rudd and Oliver Foster in the Nissan Micra in the Open Rally. Only 3 rallies ago, they were in the Junior 1000 Rally Series, and here they are at the start of their senior rally career, doing a 5-day, 350-mile, 33-stage RAC rally. That is a formidable challenge, and one that they were happy to accept. We caught up with James and Ollie in the service area earlier. Now, things are not going to plan, but as you'll see, that's not necessarily all bad. James, Oliver, we've been trying to catch up with you all week, and it turns out that we could only catch up once the engine had blown up, but it's okay. I understand we've got a plan for that, which we'll come to. But you two are the youngest competitors on this year's Roger Albert Clark Rally. It wasn't long ago, 3 events ago, you stepped up from the juniors, and here you are doing a 350-mile, 5-day monster rally that the whole world is watching. Firstly, how has the adventure been so far here on day 3?
Stressful, tiring. We are really enjoying it though. But it's a bit of a step up from the tarmac we're used to. We're not very good at this gravel yet, are we?
So, getting used to.
Yeah.
Oliver, in the events that you've done so far, you've had enough to do to learn the sport and get your head around things, but you will never have more to do as a co-driver than you have this week.
No, there's 3 different books every day, and there's 5 days of books, so there's constantly stuff to do. You get out of a stage, you're grabbing the next book, and then you're on to the next thing, so it's constant, but yeah.
We're getting there, aren't we?
Slowly. Yeah,
We're getting there.
I mean, you were a bit rough this morning, weren't you? Which at 18 is fine. Most 18-year-olds are a bit rough on a Saturday morning, but you were rough because you'd been driving through the night with the rally car to get to the Scottish stages of the RAC. Is that sinking in?
Not really, no. It's a bit like, I've waited all my life for this and we're doing it now. Bit crazy that. Yeah. But yeah, doing them classic Welsh stages yesterday, it was like pinching ourselves. It's like putting my hair in. We're in Afrin. What's happening here?
That's mega. And what's the plan? Are you having to reel him back in? Or are you just trying to get through it?
The aim is to finish the rally. Obviously, the problems we're having now is a struggle, but we're trying. And yeah, he does take some control in sometimes. He's a bit over-enthusiastic is the word sometimes, yeah. But overall it's good. So
you've both got big smiles on your faces. And one thing that we love about the Roger Albert Clark Rally, we've talked about this all the way through the coverage, is that a bit like Le Mans, if you have an issue with the car, take it home, get it fixed, bring it back out and do some damage limitation. You've got a blown up engine, but you've got a plan.
Yeah, we're going to get 1 litre from home. So we've got one just sat in the shed.
Is this the junior car?
Yeah, so I've had this since I was 13 years old. So it's had quite a lot of years with us. I think it was a road rally car at one point. Then it was bought by a rally school. And then it's had a long history in juniors. Then we got it, and then we've brought it to the RAC, bless it. So no wonder it's playing up a bit.
And you're going to go and get your trusted junior engine?
Yeah, going to get that put back in and see how she handles with her bike carbs on.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave them to have a bit of rest and get that engine put back in, and then hopefully we'll catch up with you later in the rally. If we can find you, because you've been a bit elusive so far this week, and if not, we will look forward to seeing you back out on the stages. But keep enjoying it, and we want to see you back here at the Roger Albert Clark Rally. Is that a promise?
Yeah, we'll try. We'll do our best.
yeah, we'll be out here as soon as we can.
Right.
Yeah.
See you back on the stages, lads.
Right, see you later. Thank you very much.
What a great story that is. So as we speak, that 1 litre junior engine, well, it'll probably be here by now, won't it, if it was only an hour and a half away, will be getting bolted into that Nissan Micra. I truly hope that those two young lads get back out on the stages, and we will bring you an update if and when they do, and catch up with them later in the week to see how their RAC rally adventure has been. 18 years old and competing on this iconic rally with the eyes of the world on them. That must be pretty exciting, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, as you know, I'm a bit of a rally car nerd. It's the cars that do it for me, and I'm a bit like a kid in a sweet shop this week. In fact, producer Wayne has to almost keep me on a physical leash. I go walking off in that direction because there's a rally car I've spotted I want to photograph. I go off in that direction because I can hear the sound of an engine I want to go and have a look at, and he struggles to keep tabs on me. But what that does mean is, throughout the RAC Rally Report programmes this week, we'll be bringing you a few features of some of the cars that have stirred my spirit in rally terms. And one of them is Phil Morton's Mitsubishi Starion Turbo. It's a car from an era that we can all connect with, and it's a car that's really unique and fits the bill perfectly in these special features on the RAC Rally Report. So we caught up with Phil to find out what on earth possessed him to do the RAC Rally in 2023 in a Mitsubishi Starion. 1988 would be the year of the Starion Turbo for Pentti Rickler. He'd win the Cartel International Rally, which funnily enough was organised by De Lacy Motor Club, the same motor club behind the Roger Albert Clark Rally. He'd also win the Welsh Rally that year. By the time he got to the Lombard RAC Rally, though, he was in a Lancia Delta. Martini Racing came calling, but a Starion Turbo did come in 11th and 12th place overall on the RAC. Phil Morton will be hoping, I'm sure, for a little bit of luck like that. Phil, come and join me next to the car. One of the things that we're doing this week is being really indulgent and not just looking at results and stages. We're looking at cars, and one of these, it really floats my boat. Why a Starion Turbo?
I had it and it was in the corner. And I've been on about doing it for ages and getting it done. I must have had it for 9 years. And I don't know, you've supporters on other cars about me Datsun, and I've got the X19, various different things. But I do like a different car. I mean, like, look, we've got a flood of Escorts, 99 I think there is, so to have something else. And this has been a lifelong ambition to do. From when I was 6-year-old, I drew Roger Clark and me Jota at school. I wish I'd still had that picture. Everybody says, where are you getting it from? This was out of my imagination. And I drew it, and so it's just been hooks ever since. So this has been an ambition to do all that time.
The North East answer to Pentti Rickler.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
How's it going out there? I know you've got a couple of issues here in service.
We have it, but you're going to get these issues when new car, brand new out of the box. I've never even driven it. I mean, literally drove it 3 miles around this like sort of road and then brought it down here. We didn't get a test. It was just pushing us to the limit.
Hey, but you'll know it really well after these 5 days.
Oh God, it will make me so all of that.
Ironically, you'll drive this car more than most people will drive a classic car in a year.
Well, you know what? Like, it was funny because the guy who was mapping it, which is over there, he actually drove it more than I did before we got it here.
I hope so, actually, if it's been mapped by him.
It literally got on the start line with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and like sort of bit right, let's just take it steady. And all of a sudden, it started to come back because it's been.
So tell us about it. What's it like? What's it like to drive?
It's really, really good. It's got so much torque, and you know what I do like about it, because it's got a steering box. You've got loads of slog. So you're driving like an American film, you know, when they're driving along, they're going like this. Well, you're doing that.
Driven a Mark II Cortina GT on a rally station. I know what that means.
There you go. That's exactly the same. So you're going in, but the good thing about it, like sort of go and like self-correct. So as you're doing that, it's starting to already come around. So it's actually like so it works in your favour. So it's quite nice.
I know you're trying to sell that to me, but wappy steering.
It was actually all right, but like sort of it was but the back end has been too soft, so it's been bottoming out. So obviously we're backed off a little bit for that. But like in general, for a car straight out of the box, I'm quite pleased with it. And as I say, I think it was, ask our Jack, he'd probably tell you, I'm sure it was 2006 the last time I was in the forest. So I'm quite pleased with the results so far. I mean, but you know, obviously a long way to go. It's only stage 2. Some people actually bet us on not getting to stage 2. So you know, we've got like a good team around us, and everybody's stuck in the car, and yeah, we're really, really looking forward to the next ones.
There you go. There's a fact you didn't know about the Mitsubishi Starion. It's self-correcting oversteer. Did I do well? I hope you enjoyed that little bit of rally car nerdery with me, and we'll have plenty more of that as we go through the final 2 days of this RAC Rally Report programme. I'll also post photos on social media as well of cars that have caught my eye, and not just cars that are competing in the event, by the way. Spectator car parks at events like the RAC Rally are a sight to behold. I even spotted a road-going Lancia Stratos yesterday outside Sweet Lamb. In fact, there were 2 parked together at the roadside, and one of them, I believe, was a real one, which is pretty special, isn't it? Now, it's not just rally cars that are the talk of the town, or all of the towns featured on the 3 countries that make up this year's RAC Rally. Tyres are something that we talk about an awful lot in motorsport, particularly in rallying, particularly at this time of year. And when you've got 350 miles across 5 days, it's fair to say it's very difficult to predict what tyres you need to be on, even harder to get it right on the day. And just think about the people who are having to order in, fit and prepare those tyres for all of our 150 plus competitors. It is a formidable operation, thousands of tyres. And in fact, Steve Harkness has to order more tyres for this event than he does for anything else collectively across an entire season in an RAC rally year. We caught up with Steve in the Pirelli service area to find out what goes into preparing for such a mammoth task. One of the big talks on any rally, but particularly a 5-day grueling monster like the Roger Albert Clark, is tyres. Now, I don't want to talk to you, Steve, about tyres in the same way I talk to the competitors about tyres. I want to know how many tyres you've had to get in stock for this Roger Albert Clark rally.
We're between 2,500 and 3,000 tyres. So the
Put that in perspective, what would you do in an average BTRDA event, for example?
2 fronts, 4 rears, and a 48-mile event on the top runners. So your top guys here are forecasting themselves between 70 to 80 tyres per car. So yeah, it's a little bit scary. So yeah, and then obviously you've got the 2 different compounds, whether it's going to be softs. The weather's been very kind to us at the moment, so yeah, you've got to have all inevitable options available for each car. So yeah, it's been a bit of a lottery, but we're getting there.
I mean, Pirelli is headlining the service areas here as a sponsor, but it's very much headlining the event then, isn't it, having to order all these tyres in? That's mad.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've sleepless nights for months, let alone the drivers. It's the same for us, you know, trying to get the production made in time for it and making sure we've got all the right compounds available for all the cars. Luckily, being so Escort dominated, the 13 inch is the most popular tyre. So we haven't had as many 15-inch tyres to come to the event, but we've got enough to get everybody through. So yeah, it's a tough ask, but we get there.
I mean, anybody now watching this feature will think, well, they don't look that busy. It looks very leisurely because the cars have gone back out to the stages. Now, I bet actually, as you mentioned, the lead-up is probably far busier than the event anyway.
Well, I've been to people like Jason's place. We've probably fitted 30, 40 tyres for him there at his own garage already. A lot of other teams have had tyres sent out, got them fitted ready. They want to get ahead of the game instead of having to all come together and, you know, bombard us with wheels and tyres over the first day. So no, they're actually getting ahead of the game now, which is a nice thing. Yeah. So, but I think once we leave here and we get into Scotland up north, then it's going to be a different ball game. People are going to get through tyres quicker, and then they'll be coming to us a lot more regular. So yeah, no, it's good, really enjoyable.
As a competitor yourself in a number of different cars, interesting ones at that, what's caught your eye so far this weekend? Have you got any orders come through in the lead-up and you thought, oh, that's interesting?
Well, the Stratos, obviously, the TR7 V8 is great to see. Theo in his Ascona. It's just nice to have a little bit of variety in there. Don't get me wrong, I love me
Corolla E86.
Well, Corollas as well, yeah. I know it's one of your favourites, isn't it? So, yeah, no, it's just nice to have a bit of variety, but the Escort seems to be the dominating car. It always will be with rallying, unfortunately. Well, fortunately.
There's no unfortunately about it, but it's got a competition this year.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, I think Chris has had a bit of a gearbox issue on the first stage, but his times are there now. So, and I think Seb had a bit of an issue with distributor cap or something. He had a bit of a misfire, yeah, but now he's back on song again. We're still very early in the rally, so there's a long way to go.
Steve, good luck for the rest of the rally. I feel like I need to wish you as much luck as the competitors, and great job.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, great to see you.
Fair play to Steve and his hard-working team, because not only are they having to fit and prepare tyres where the rally currently is, they're also sending Pirelli trucks round to the next leg of the rally so they can prepare in the service area ready for when the competitors arrive for the next day of stages. It's quite some operation, and I hope Steve's got a big holiday planned at the end of the RAC rally. I've got a feeling he might, you know. Now, a feature that I know you guys have loved this week as much as we have, a feature that reminds us how we all got into this sport in the first place, or at least it reminds me how I got into the sport anyway, is little Ocean, who's been bringing us his view from the side of the stages with his dad watching the Welsh leg of the RAC rally. We first met Ocean in Carmarthen Town Centre at the ceremonial start, where he introduced himself to us and said that he wanted to be a rally presenter when he was older, and we can't hear that and just say, oh, great, well, good luck with that. We have to do something about it. So we thought we'd make him an honorary member of the special stage RAC Rally Report team this week, and that's exactly what we did. And he accepted, I'm pleased to say. And his report last night was brilliant. So here he is again, little Ocean, with his view on the stages from the Welsh leg. And this, by the way, is the last one, because they were only doing the Welsh stages. So this is Ocean's last report, and I hope we'll see him very soon again on special stage. Here's what happened when Ocean was out on the stages in mid-Wales yesterday.
Right then, Mr. Ocean Davis, we are coming to the end of our Roger Albert Clark rally adventure for 2023. How have you enjoyed your experience?
I loved it. It was just so good.
Yeah. What was your highlight for the whole event?
The rally
Yeah, some of the top boys were going really quick, weren't they?
Yeah.
And your man, the main man, Oshan Price, he's now second overall going into day 3, which will be up in Carlisle. Unfortunately, we won't be following them anymore, but we will be keeping a close eye from home through the live feeds, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we will hope that Oshan can put the hammer down a bit tomorrow and try and claw back some time against Oliver Solberg and make sure the fight goes down to the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you have to say for everyone at special stage?
Good luck and enjoy the rally.
Awesome, thank you, Osh.
Oshan, I know you're watching this. Thank you so much for joining us on the special stage Roger Albert Clark Rally Report team. It has been a privilege to have you as a team member, and you've done a brilliant job. We hope to see you back on our team at some point in the future. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now, today has thrown up quite a few surprises, challenges for some of our crews on the stages, and the question burning on my mind now is, did little Oshan bring big Oshan any luck? Here's a very short package of highlights from today's action where we find out. Day 3 on the RAC rally will be just like any other, in that we will be in for some drama right from the off and throughout the results as well. The biggest change, the loss of Austin Bryce and Rodri Evans. The car smoking its way through stage 16 before coming to a halt and going no further. Bitter disappointment for the man who was in the fight for the lead last year and indeed was doing the same in 2023. That, of course, left Oliver Solberg and Elliot Edmondson with a bit more of an advantage now out front. In fact, over 3 minutes of a lead. The afternoon and 2 more days to go, though. It was far from a done deal just yet. Don't forget, Solberg has not done these stages before. Price dropping out, though, from that leading position, of course, benefits Marty McCormack and Barney Mitchell. They were now into second place, ready to keep Solberg on his toes and put a big push in the second half of the event, taking victory if, of course, the chance comes. And Jason Pritchard and Phil Clark were now up to third, but they'd been here before, not counting anything just yet. They'd had their own issues as well, slipping off the road and losing around 30 seconds today. Thankfully helped by the spectators and back on their way again. And there'd be a bit of drama for Seb Perez and Gary McElhaney, or more so for the Dansport service crew anyway. Radiator problems looked worrying, but the team managed to get the issues sorted by the side of the road, getting them out again for the afternoon in true RAC rally spirit. And there'd be some time lost as well for James Ford and Neil Shanks. A spin in the Porsche would eat away at their times, putting them 23 seconds back from Ben Friend in a battle that could have been and should have been a lot closer by this point. In the open rally, I'm sure we don't need to point it out by now, but that lead would still belong to this man, Neil Weaver. Jack Morton, our newly crowned Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally champion, mixing it on the gravel alongside. They were now having it all their own way. The advantage up to around 10 minutes. Look, we did tell you, didn't we, that this Roger Albert Clark rally in 2023 is the longest, most challenging, most grueling rally for over 30 years. And we meant it. You've been able to get as close as possible to the action thanks to this coverage, and hopefully you've felt those moments with our competitors. Whether they've been good moments, whether they've been painful moments, we've opened the rally up and you've lived it with them. We've got more drama to go when we head to England for tomorrow's 4th day of the RAC rally. But what is the weather going to do? Abby's here to tell us.
Well, another very cold day of rallying ahead for the Roger Albert Clark rally on Sunday. It's set to be a cloudy day, could be a bit of mist and fog first thing as well, that quite slow to clear. Bit of hazy sunshine, but more cloud around in general, and eventually a little bit of patchy rain arriving as we head towards the evening. A colder day than today with a top temperature of about 5 or 6 degrees. Have fun and stay safe.
Thanks, Abby. So that's what the weather's going to do tomorrow for day 4 of the Roger Albert Clark rally. And let's face it, it could be a lot worse. But what does that look like? Well, our crews head from Scotland over a very short road section this time compared to yesterday. More sleep for us all tonight. To the north of England, We're still based around Carlisle, and the stages take place in the north of the Kielder complex tomorrow. We're starting in Kirshop at 8:30 in the morning for the opening stage of the 4th leg of this grueling competition. And you know what that means? Well, it means two things. Firstly, the killer Kielder ditches are waiting. Yeah, and the second thing it means is that we're going to be live with you from that first stage in the morning. 8:30 in the morning, bright and early. We will see you there. You can watch on the Roger Albert Clark Facebook page, or if you prefer, you can go onto the Special Stage YouTube channel. You can queue up the live programmes, and they'll start consecutively. When one ends, the next one starts. We've made it as easy as possible for you to watch as much live rallying as you can possibly cram into your weekend as we go into the second half. Just let that sink in, of this Roger Albert Clark rally. Still half those miles to go on the stages. Now, I've got a very special mission for you before we end the RAC Rally Report programme tonight. But before that, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you from myself and the rest of the Roger Albert Clark Rally team for all of your comments, your engagement, your interaction, above all else, your passion and your enthusiasm as we've gone through this rally so far, sending us your comments, your feedback, your videos, your photos direct to the studio on our WhatsApp number, which is on the Special Stage Facebook page. We have seen some incredible moments on the stages thanks to your fan cams. And we've seen some really nice photos of you guys enjoying watching this coverage from home. Families watching the coverage, babies watching the coverage, the kids watching before school, the big kids watching after school. And that's fine too, by the way. But there was one story that came out of those messages that we've been sent that made us all smile and just look at each other and have one of those moments where we're reminded, as if we needed reminding, what we love about this sport. But it was one of those, yeah, that is what it's all about type moments. You know what I'm talking about. And it came when the rally cars were on a road section through mid Wales yesterday on day 3, and they were passing Carrick Hirfan's school near Lampeter. Now, head teacher Aled Evans, Mr. Evans to you, found out about this, and he thought, well, it's about time we had an outdoor automotive lesson. So line up outside the school, children. And they did. And as the rally cars came past, the kids cheered, they waved, they got in the spirit of the moment, and they really embraced the rally, as all of the residents and the localities as we've gone through the route have done, by the way. Everybody's been absolutely wonderful, but this is such a great story. Hats off to you, Mr. Evans, because you have created memories those children will take with them for a lifetime. And the school want to personally thank Marty McCormack and Barney Mitchell for really getting into the spirit of the moment, pulling up in the entrance to the school and allowing the children to have a closer look at that McCormack drilling Mark II Escort that has won the Roger Albert Clark Rally 3 times, and you know what, might just win it a 4th time in 2023. Well done to all of you. Those are the moments that really matter for our sport, and you know what, just in life, and we applaud you for that. It's really made us all smile. Now, one last thing, the music. Once upon a time, a very obscure, very cheesy, quite strange 80s pop song that, by the way, didn't make the top 20 either here in the UK or I don't think even in its native Germany, inspired quite a few rally fans, didn't it? And for decades, that song, when it starts, has made people think of the Lombard RAC rally. I am, of course, talking about Propaganda and Duelled, and it's a song that we all hum, and when we hear it, we think of rallies that we've been to over the years, and we hope that having brought it into our Rally Report coverage this week, it's a song that will remind you of everything you've loved about the 2023 Roger Albert Clark Rally. But you know what? Somewhere in a very obscure office, in an even more obscure record label business, is somebody who won't be expecting to suddenly see a spike in downloads for this very obscure 80s pop song that they probably didn't even know was made famous by the BBC Top Gear Rally Report. So what I need you all to do, and I think we've got the numbers to do this, is create a spike. Let's all go and download Propaganda and Duelled on iTunes or the Android store or wherever you download your music. Download Propaganda Duelled after this show, and who knows, we might just remind somebody else what was so great about rallying, and also point out to them that it's back when they see that spike in the downloads of that song. And we just want to hear it playing out across northern England as we go into the day 4 of the Roger Albert Clark Rally in the morning. Right, that's it for this evening. We will have a more detailed highlights package of today's action and all of the drama on the stages in tomorrow night's show. We'll have more rally car nerdery and some more features from behind the scenes as well. For now though, thank you for joining us today for another fantastic day of live action on the stages and for tonight's RAC Rally Report. Sleep tight, stay warm, particularly if you're with us here because it's pretty cold, and we will see you in the morning. For now, from the International Media Centre here in Scotland for day 3 of the RAC Rally, goodbye.